are Kapoor from Beyond Space, and this is the entire history of SSTOs. But first, what is an SSTO? It stands for Single Stage to Orbit, or in more simpler terms, a single stage rocket going in orbit around the Earth. But before we begin, I would like to highlight a few flaws with SSTOs. One being engines. Not all engines that work in space will work at ground or sea level. For example, in this image you can see that a Merlin vacuumized engine combustion chamber is way bigger than the normal Merlin engine. The second reason is weight. Multi-stage rockets drop their empty fuel tanks and unneeded engines to save weight. The Skylon spaceplane is the only one on this list that I think that might actually fly. But it is important to note that the company designing this, Reactions Engine Limited, is more focused on other projects/rockets. But the Skylon spaceplane hopes to achieve an efficiency of $500 per kilometer compared to the $2,000 per kilogram of the Falcon 9. The Venture Star, although never completed a one-third scale model with 97% fitness, the test model was called the X-33. The reason it got cancelled in 2001 was due to budget cuts. But if the Venture Star was completed, a 121-foot high and 128-foot wide rocket that weighed 2.2 million pounds, or roughly about 1,000 tons, would have been made. The Venture Star if could lift 40,000 pounds to low Earth orbit. It also uses an aerospike engine, the XRS-2200 linear aerospike engine, which I think is pretty cool. And if you want, I could make an entire video about the aerospike engine. The next one on our list, the McDonnell Douglas DCXA, a one-third scale model of the DCX, which never got built. But it was a 39-foot tall, 13-foot wide, and had a carrying capacity of 41,000 pounds. It got retired in it got retired for budget reasons, which happened in 1996 after completing 13 tests. The entire program cost $60 million, or $107 million in present day money. Next on our list, the Kanu Maru. I probably didn't pronounce their name properly, but I guess that doesn't matter. The Kanu Maru was never built, but if it was, it would have been 77 feet high and 59 feet wide, and 1.12 million pounds. With a tiny payload capacity of 8,800 pounds or 4 times Leo, which stands for low Earth orbit. For comparison, the Falcon 9, which has a similar mass, can carry 20,900 pounds to low Earth orbit. The Japanese Rocket Society estimated it would have cost a whopping $28 billion to develop and up to launch 418 Falcon 9 rockets. Next on our list, the HAS-2C from Arc Space. It was designed with an aerospike engine similar to the Venture Star and the X-33. It was designed to launch 100 pounds to low Earth orbit and would cost $3.4 million. That's compared to a rocket made by Astra. And there are two other rockets, which I am going to make a video on for sure. Going back to the topic, the S-3.3 rocket cost $2.5 million and could send 200 to 350 pounds to low Earth orbit. What I think is kind of funny is that everyday astronauts estimated that if they added a second stage, they could have get a 1,000 pounds to low Earth orbit. The Douglas SSATO is the next one on our list. It's sent for Saturn Application Single Stage Orbit Vehicle. Unfortunately, a lot of the information and specs of this vehicle were unfortunately lost to history, but there is still some we know. It was designed to carry about 4,400 pounds to low Earth orbit, and was maybe possibly designed with an aerospike engine, but we don't know that for sure. But other than that, we don't know much about this rocket. This is really more like a paper rocket, it's more an idea than like an actual rocket. Next on our list is not a rocket but a person. This person's name was Philip Bond.
Here's a picture of Philip Bond.
Most famous end was SSATO, Saturn Application Single Stage 2 Orbit Vehicle that we talked from the beginning. However, he still didn't make a many around. Most of these, but one important thing to mention, most of these are designed and don't actually have many specs, so I'll quickly glance over them. And also, a bunch of these have like really bad names, so just telling you in advance. North American Air Argument VTVOL OOST ISI OOST like Roost ISI Rhombus. Like the next one, I asked Google how to pronounce, and Google couldn't pronounce it, but I'll just tell you explains. ITHACUS. I just maybe. But one important one to talk about, the one I just said, is it was actually an adaptation of one of Philip Bond's design, although it is extremely similar, so I'm gonna still count it. But also there's two more, Hyperon and the MLLV. Like bunch of these need better names. The Gorshmel, designed by Edward Gorshmel, I plan to use the J21, the exact same ones used on the mighty powerful Saturn V, also known as the moon rocket, which carried the first people to the moon. But nothing much happened with this rocket. The American SST VTOVL, founded by P. S. Caesar, he started coming to perform one of Philip's one design. However, he couldn't find many investors, and then the company went bankrupt only a few years later. In 1977, Boeing designed an SSTO with 500,000 pounds payload capacity. It got scrapped as soon as the designs were finished. VT-8O55T is a NASA design based on the Philips One VT-8OL, and it was expected to cost about $30 million. It never left the drawing board. There's also another version, the VT-8OL 9T. They really need some better names for this stuff. And yeah, that unfortunately had this. So you made it to the end of the video. Congrats. Anyway, this video is gonna be a two-part video. The further I made this video, I realized there is like no way I'm making this like a short video. Like this is gonna be like a long, maybe like 30-40 minute video, and that's gonna take like literally forever to make. So I feel like I want to make a two-part video, maybe 3 parts possibly, but yeah, I'm gonna try to stick to 2 parts. Anyway, the inspiration of this video came from Everyday Astronaut, EVERYDAY astronaut, and is the entire history of Soviet rocket engines, which I highly recommend of you. But without further ado, thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't. Like only about 50% of my viewers are subscribed, and it mean the world to me. If like all of you guys subscribe now, I will be like 120 subscribers. So anyway, but it's completely up to you, and it's free, and you can only change your mind later. So anyway, see ya.